and welcome to the start of yet another reading vlog. In this video, we're just gonna be mood reading all week long. It's gonna be nice. I am technically mood reading all month long, but this video specifically is just dedicated to simply reading whatever I feel like picking up at the moment, which is just going to be so lovely. I have two books I'm reading right now. First one being Attack on Titan Omnibus number 3. So this is volumes 7, 8, and 9. I am nearly done with this. I have this little bit left. I am loving this so very much. I don't even know how to begin explaining Attack on Titan. So in this world, there are these things called Titans, which are like human-like creatures, giant creatures who seemingly have no intelligence. All they know is to kill and to eat. And we follow a cast of characters, mainly Eren Yeager, I think is how you pronounce his name, who joined this kind of army team called the Survey Corps, and they go out and they fight the Titans. They try to take them down. It's a lot more than that. There's so much going on, and it is brutal and violent, and it is so good. And then the other book I'm reading right now is 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. This one, I am not going to be finishing this video most likely because it is taking me quite some time to finish it. It's like a modern classic. I think it was written in like the 60s or something. It is about this place called Macondo. It is just this solitary city village, and we're just seeing what takes place in it through a few generations. We initially are following this man's family. His name is Jose Arcadio Buendia. We were kind of following his family at the beginning of this. Obviously, I think that we're just gonna keep following his family throughout this 100 years in Macondo. We are seeing the technological advances. We're seeing people come into Macondo, visiting, bringing in new things. I really know nothing about this book. I just know one of my favorite YouTubers. I'll put a picture here because I can't remember her name, but she's one of my favorite YouTubers, and this is like her favorite book of all time. So I really wanted to read it, but this is gonna take me quite some time because it is quite dense. Even like the font is like super tiny. There's like barely any paragraphs, but I am enjoying it. I don't know if I would say even enjoying it, but it is very well written. There's already been some like hard topics brought up, but yeah, this is just something I'm reading kind of in the background. I'm reading like a few pages per day. I probably will honestly take like 2 months to finish this. My goal is just to read like 10 pages a day. I'm on page 38 of this, so that's going great. I don't know where this week is going to take me, what kind of books we're gonna read, but I'm excited to just mood read and see where my interests take me. I just finished Attack on Titan volumes 7 through 9. I never know what to rate manga, so I just rate everything I've read so far like 4 stars because that seems fair. And this was so good. I liked it a lot. I think this series is definitely worth the read, especially if you're interested in getting into manga. I think this is a great place to start because this is where I started and I really liked it. And now it's time for me to choose another book. So we are here at my TBR shelf. I really don't know what I want to read right now, so I'm just gonna kind of peruse, see what we have going on. Okay, I've chosen a few books that I am interested in that I thought we could kind of read a little bit of the synopsis of, see if I'm feeling any of them. So the first one is The Witch of Wild Things by Raquel Vasquez Gilliland. I have a hard time. Every time I read this last time, I have a hard time with it. Gilliland? I'm not sure. Anyways, this one's like a cozy romance about like this witch who can communicate with plants. She has to go home because something happened, so she has to go back home and run like the family business, something like that. Something just super cute and cozy. Sounds wonderful to me right now, and it is nice and short, so this is definitely an option for my next read. But I also have Guild by Raven Kennedy. This is the start of the Plated Prisoner series. I don't really want to start a series right now, but I have been just really, really wanting to read this series. So I almost feel like if I start this series, there's the cover. Like if I start this, I might just have to like continue it right away so I don't feel like swamped by all the series I'm in the middle of, if that even makes sense. But this one's about, I think it's like a King Midas retelling. It's about this girl who has been imprisoned for forever by King Midas. Let's just read this. It says, gold floors, gold walls, gold furniture, gold clothes. In High Bell, in King Midas's castle built into the frozen mountains, everything is made of gold, even me. Yeah, so she's like imprisoned by King Midas and she thinks that he's this amazing man and she like loves him. But then I think just throughout this story, we're like getting to see her kind of realize that this man is not great. And I don't know what else this story is about, but I've just really been wanting to read it, especially since I have like 4 books in the series and I haven't started it. And then the next one is The Thorns Remain. This is a romantasy that I've had for so long. It says, a fey lord, a mortal woman, a dance with a terrible price. I really don't know what this is about, but again, I've just had this for so long and I'm always in the mood to read it and I just never do. So I don't know, maybe I'll read a bit of each and then come back and let you know what I've decided to read. Good morning, everybody. I chose a book to read and I started it yesterday, and that is The Thorns Remain. The name is like JJA Harwood. So I have the day off today and there's actually a very exciting book coming in the mail that I completely forgot about it. So my goal is to read the entirety of The Thorns Remain today. This is a 400-page book, so we'll see if we can do it. Today's my day off, so I am home, I am alone, so I can just lock in and read all day long. I'm so excited. I actually have 2 books coming in the mail today, 2 pre-orders. I'm so excited for both of them. One of them is like one of my most anticipated releases of the year, so it's just very exciting. Let's talk a little bit about The Thorns Remain. So I did start this yesterday and I got up to page 40. So far it is feeling very much just like fairy folklore. We were in this tiny little village in 1919 after the war, and we were following our main character whose name is Moira Jean. So in their little village, there's just a few younger people, like teenagers or young adults, and everyone wants to venture out of their village to just go out into the world and see new places, start up careers somewhere else. They're having one last night of fun. Her and her friends go out into the forest and they drink, they dance, they go kind of crazy. But Moira Jean notices some weird things going on. She starts to see these kind of beings, but if she tries to focus in on them, it gives her a massive headache. She notices they're just surrounded by these creatures, these crazy creatures with, like, the descriptions were like scary, like horns instead of eyes, covered in moss, you know, just like classic dark fairy tale fairies. I loved that part so much. They are swept up in this dance and she realizes like she is the only one who is seeing this. She can't stop dancing. Something weird is going on. And that's kind of all that has happened so far. At this point, again, I'm 40 pages in, so it's just like the day after this night of dancing and drinking. We'll see where this takes us. It is feeling very magical and very much kind of like reminding me of Holly Black, not in the writing style, just in like the topic, I guess, the folklore, the fairy folklore, and I'm just loving it so much. So I'm just gonna sit down, I'm gonna read this all day long, and I will show you my book haul whenever I get my 2 new books in. Also, I wanted to show you my pretty flowers. Because it is springtime, I've been getting flowers, and I got the prettiest ranunculus. Aren't they so gorgeous? These are the most fun flowers ever, and they just go so well in my house. I don't know what these ones are called, but like you see them everywhere. They're so pretty and pink, and I just love springtime because the flowers are always just so stunning. It's so dark and gloomy out today. It is the perfect day to just sit in and read. I did want to say about this book, there are no chapters, which is like not the best because I feel like chapters are what usually motivates me to keep going. Like just knowing that I've completed a chapter, I'm like, oh yeah, that feels great. But there are no chapters in this book. There are parts. I'm in part 1. Part 2 starts at page 89. And let's see, I think there's 5 parts. Yeah, there's 5 parts in this book. So those are like the chapters. But again, this is a 400-page book. So like 4 chapters or 5 chapters. It's not that much. So it's like, there's no good place to stop when I need to put it down. That's just like me being nitpicky. Like that doesn't actually really matter all that much. So I made it the first 100 pages of this book, and I think I kind of misjudged the book. I said it was a romantasy, but definitely so far it is just fantasy. And I don't know if we're gonna get a whole lot of romance. She had someone that she was in love with in the past, but he died like 3 months before this book takes place. And so you're kind of just getting little bits and pieces of the romance that they had shared together. I don't know if there's gonna be any more romance in this book or if that's going to be like the romance, but on the back it does say bewitching, threaded with Highland charm and sparkling with romance. This fairy tale will carry you away. So yeah, I don't know if there's going to be a romance with the Fae Lord himself. Either way, I am having a great time. Again, 100 pages in, we have reached part 2, and I'm having a jolly good time. My books came in. I'm just so excited. I have been counting down the days until I got one of these, and then the other one it's kind of like a newer book I've been seeing floating around. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Okay, holy crap, it's huge. Okay, first and foremost, we have Fearless by Lauren Roberts. This is the 3rd and final book in the Powerless trilogy. I am so excited to read this, and it's kind of long. I think this is the longest. I don't want to spoil the book for myself, but I want to see how many pages is in this. It is 588 pages, so nearly 600 pages. Has this on the naked hardback. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I'm about to read this. I can't believe I'm holding this in my hands. This is so exciting. I rated Powerless 5 stars, and I rated Powerful, the novella, 5 stars. And then I rated Reckless 4.5 stars. Wasn't nearly perfect for me, but close. And this is a predicted 5 stars. I'm so excited to read this. I just don't even know what is in store for me. And then we got another pre-order in today, and this one, it's stunning. Oh my gosh. So this is Firebird by Juliet Cross, and these are the end papers. They are so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I heard about this one and I thought it sounded so incredible. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Let's read a little bit of it together. It says, from the moment Roman general and nephew to the empire, Julianus Dacia, laid eyes on Melina, he was enthralled by the Dacian dancer. Lots of words I'm probably pronouncing wrong. Years later, the fierce beauty stands before him on a scarred battlefield, her life in danger. He instinctively shifts into his powerful dragon form to save her, an action that may mean his head on the imperial gate. But he and his dragon know one thing: she belongs to them. Melina can't believe that the centurion who had once bestowed a secret talisman on her is the Roman general of legendary brutality. His prowess as a warrior cannot be denied, yet it doesn't reveal the secret he hides. All Melina knows is his protection and gentle touch, and she cannot deny how her soul has always seemed to answer his. As they navigate a world where flying death riders conquer and burn, Their love will ignite a firestorm that can only end in heartbreak or death, or both. Oh my gosh. And then inside we have this map. So beautiful. I love a good map. And then on the back side, it's just like the same map. Is there anything on the naked hardback? Cute. So on the naked hardback, we have just a red dragon. I am so excited for this book. If I finish The Thorns Remain and then somehow finish Fearless in time, possibly this will be my next read. I have been hearing great things about this book, about like some people got arcs of it. I don't know if this is in a series. Yes, this is the first book in a series. There's 380 pages in this book. I can't get over those edges. That's so cool. My goodness. I'm so happy about this book mail. Yay! I made it 200 pages into The Thorns Remain, and that is pretty much exactly halfway, and there is no chance I am finishing this book today. I'm still really liking this book, but I think the pacing is a bit off for me. It feels like it's really dragging on and like not a lot is happening. Just kind of the same thing over and over, and it's not really keeping my attention, but I'm still like enjoying my time like when I'm actually reading this, but it's not something that I just like am desperately wanting to read, or that I just like am thinking about when I'm not reading it. Like it's just kind of, it's like good, you know? I feel like it's gonna be like a 3.5, 3.75 star read, which is still really good for me. Pretty much if I don't like a book, I'll rate it like 2 stars or below. But 3.5, 3.75 is still really good. And this is just like a great read if you don't want anything super intense. It's still like there's high stakes, but it's just like a fairy tale, you know? So I'll probably read a little bit more of this today. I want to get to part 4, so I would read 50 more pages and then I'd be to part 4. So I think I can do that, and then I'll read the rest of it tomorrow. It's the next day, and I just sat here and finished The Thorns Remain, and this book was all right. I think it could have been 100 to 150 pages shorter. It just seemed like it dragged on, and like the same exact things just kept happening over and over again. To me, it never really got exciting. I ended up just really not caring about what was going on at all, and I didn't like the main character, and I think that's what made it so boring for me. I just really did not like the main character for some reason. I did like all the fae, the fairies and stuff. Everything was super dark and kind of creepy, and I really liked that. But I just would like rather pick up a Holly Black book. So I honestly don't know if I would recommend this book. At the beginning, I really liked like the first 100 pages, and I was gonna rate it like 4 stars. The ratings just kept going further down for me, and I think I'm honestly gonna land at a 2 star. I feel really bad about that, but I just ended up really not liking it, and I was so happy to be done with it. I also did buy the audiobook because I couldn't physically sit there and read it because I was so bored, but I didn't want to DNF it because I was already like over halfway through. So I just didn't really like this one. I don't think I would recommend it, and I feel really bad saying that, but I know there's other people out there who would like this a lot more than me, especially if you don't like super intense like high stakes books. Like this book was still intense and high stakes, but just not in the way I like it. I don't know. Very disappointed in this, but fear not. I have a book I'm really excited for, and obviously it's going to be Fearless by Lauren Roberts. I'm going to just jump into this stat. I am happy that I have a book I'm really excited for to read next, because that book really slumped me out for sure. But I'm gonna start this right away. I actually have a small group with my church tonight, and so I'm gonna be leaving in like less than an hour, but I will start this. I needed this. I needed this. You guys, it's been literally days, like 3 to 4 days since I last updated, because I have just not been reading. Every time I sit down to read and I think like, okay, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna just binge this book, I just feel so anxious and jittery and I like cannot focus. I think about every other thing that I need to be doing at the moment and I have to just get up and go do something else. So I've literally, within the last 4 days, I've only made it to 70 pages of Fearless by Lauren Roberts. So not doing the best. And still today, I just am so anxious. I can't sit down and just read, so I don't know how much I'm gonna read this today. All I'm saying is it's probably gonna take me a minute. It might take me another week to read this. I can't like sit still right now and just read, which kind of sucks because I really want to read this and I'm loving what it is so far. We are 70 pages in. I can't say anything about the book. If you don't know what Powerless is, it is about this girl whose name is Peyton. She is powerless in a world where that is illegal. She lives in a kingdom of elites, which are just people who have powers. It's all sorts of kinds of powers. They're actually pretty cool. And she is just pretending to be psychic. She was trained from her father since she was really little to just pretend to be a psychic because otherwise she will be killed by the king's enforcer. And the king's enforcer is a guy named Kai, who is actually the male love interest in this story. And so they kind of have like an enemies to lovers romance going on, but she's obviously pretending to be powerless or to have powers, so he doesn't know that they're enemies to lovers. And in the first book there's like a Hunger Games type of deal where it's called like the Purging Trials, where there's like a bunch of people who come together and like fight to the death sometimes, and there's like one victor. So that's like what the first book is about, and then obviously this is the third book, so we just go from there. And it is so good, and a lot of people didn't like the second book, Reckless, but I loved it, and I am just really liking this so far. I love being back with some of my favorite characters. And yeah, I think I'm gonna go to a bookstore. I don't know, I just have to get out of the house and do something. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I'll come back and maybe I'll read some more. I'll update you later. Okay, let's talk about some bookish fun. Well, actually, first of all, I went to the flea market yesterday. Boise had its first flea of the season, and I'm so happy. I love the flea market. Some of the booths were really cool, and I just love looking through old things, looking at knickknacks. Seeing people's artwork is just incredible, and I always feel so guilty when I don't buy their things because I'm like, I love your stuff, but I can't buy it. But I did get 3 things. I first and foremost got this bad boy. They were selling it for $5 and I thought, what a steal. So I got myself a Spider-Man glass, and I also got this tiny little man. Well, actually, it's a girl, and her name is Pearl because she is a tiny little octopus, and she looks like the octopus from Finding Nemo, whose name is Pearl, and she's a flapjack octopus, and I love her. She was $8, but I saw her, and I knew she needed a home, and she was the only one there, and I had to buy her, so we have Pearl. And then, to go along with one of my current reads, I got a bookmark, and it's so cute. Let me make sure what page I'm on. Okay, cool. So it's just like plain wood, but then it has like this really cool detail where it's just seashells, and obviously I love the ocean. I love seashells. So I saw this and I was like, oh yeah, you're coming home with me. So anyways, let's talk about this read that I am, in fact, reading. This is book 3 in the Heroes of Olympus series, a series that I am just really, really enjoying. It is a series that follows 7 kids, 2 of which are Percy and Annabeth from Percy Jackson. So this is just a series that comes after the Percy Jackson series. And yeah, so this book specifically, Mark of Athena, follows like Annabeth, I'm pretty sure. So far, it is. But we still get POVs from other characters. Like right now in the current chapter I'm in, we are following a character named Leo, but they are on just another adventure, another journey, another quest, following another prophecy. Lots of bad guys, lots of good guys. Like, it's just so much fun. It's Greek mythology, and you just meet so many different fun characters, and it's just a really great time. A lot of people my age, I'm 25, a lot of people my age would probably not enjoy it as much because it is definitely written for like a younger crowd, but for me it just is so much fun, and you know that things are probably going to turn out okay, and it's just such a joy to read. So for the past 2 nights I've just been reading a little bit every night, and so I'm up to around page 40. I don't know exactly because I'm reading it on my Kindle. So far I feel like this might be my favorite one of this series, but I don't know. I'm really liking this. And then I do have updates on my book Fearless. I keep wanting to call it Powerless. Fearless by Lauren Roberts, which is the 3rd book in the Powerless series, and I finally have reached over 100 pages. I am at page 108, and this one also I am loving, and it is a projected 5-star read for me. So far that hasn't changed with these last 100 pages. It is so good. I love the character so much, and not much has happened yet. We're kind of just still building up the story, but I truly love it. I really do. There's so much yearning and still tension between characters, and I don't know. It's just so much fun, and I love it. And I'm just gonna read. Like, now I told you guys I was experiencing some issues because I would sit down and I would think, oh my gosh, there's so much I need to do. Like, there's way too much I have to like do, and I was so anxious. And I feel like over the last few days, because it's been like another couple days since I've seen you, but the last few days I feel like I've gotten done with everything I need to do. Everything's out of the way, and so I can just sit down, relax. I think I'm gonna make myself a nice drink, a nice little warm beverage, and we can finally read some more. So in Powerless, the 1st book, you can tell that Lauren Roberts took a lot of inspo from the Hunger Games, and it didn't so much seem like that in the 2nd book, but picking this book up again, it's like you can tell she's still taking a lot of inspiration from that series, which I am totally fine with. I think a lot of people have an issue with that because they think it's almost like a copy and paste, but to me, it's like you can tell she just really likes that story. And I think a lot of books, especially now, like it's hard to come up with something new. And so most books written today are going to be inspired from other books, other like fictional creations or fictional worlds and stuff. And so it's not gonna be, like, it's not news to me that this series would be inspired by another series, because everything else today is inspired by something that was before, if that makes sense. So to me, I'm like, you know what? I love the Hunger Games. I had just read the series like in the last year, and it is like one of my favorite series of all time. And so I'm like, I love that something like that inspired something like this. And it's cool because this is a fantasy world, and so it is still like very much different from the Hunger Games, but you still get to see like glimpses of it in this series, and I like that. It's just like a really cool blend of genres. I think this is a great series to pick up, especially if you are a new fantasy reader. Like if you primarily read romance, I think this would be a great series to read because it is very much romantic. It is a romantasy first and foremost. Like it is all about the romance. So I think if you started out in fantasy or in romance, that this would be a great series to pick up. I think if you read primarily like epic fantasy stories and like high fantasy, maybe this wouldn't be for you. It is for me because I pretty much like all sorts of fantasy. I love romantasy, I'm coming to find out. I don't so much love just plain old romance. I do every once in a while, don't get me wrong. Most of the time I like reading like fantasy stories, stuff that's really intense and kind of like high stakes, life-threatening stuff, you know, the good stuff. But I've come to find out that I really love when it has romance in it as well. And romantasy, I should have known because like my favorite series of all time is ACOTAR, and that's definitely romantasy, so I should have known that I would always love it. That's all I have to say right now. Just thought I'd come on here and say that. I just went to the bookstore and I sold some books, and then I bought some books with the money that I made. In my defense, they are books in series that I'm currently reading, or a continuation of a series that I had finished before, but now there's a new book that just came out. You'll see in a second. So the first 2 books that I got are in the same series, and it is the Heroes of Olympus series. So we already know I'm reading the Mark of Athena right now, and I am loving it. So I figured I would just get the next 2 books in the series, which I think there's only 5 books in the series. So I think I should have all of them now. So first we have book 4, which is The House of Hades. This one I'm pretty sure it has to follow Nico, right? Nico D'Angelo. And then we have the 5th book, The Blood of Olympus. And I think this is just like the culmination of the entire story, finally coming together, getting some answers, fulfilling the prophecy, you know, all that good stuff. And then we have the one I went out specifically to get, and that is Watch Me by Tahira Mafi. I had tried to go and buy this book in my last vlog, but then I realized I was like a month early. But today, I knew it came out today, so I went, and it is so pretty. Oh my goodness. And then it has like just gold foil edges, but that like have a rainbow sheen to it. It's so beautiful. But wait, there's more. So there's like words written all over the hardback, and then like the end papers are like these gummy bears. Cute. I'm so excited for this book. I read the entire Shadow Me series already, and I loved it so much. The only thing I didn't like about it was I hated Juliet, who was the main character. To me, she was so insufferable. That still didn't ruin the series for me. It's like a 4.5 star series for me. I love it. I need to like rebuy the series because I feel like I would totally reread it. It was so much fun and very exciting, especially like the last few books in it are very exciting. I really, really liked it. So I'm really excited to read this one. This one's about James Anderson, who I'm pretty sure, was this not Adam's little brother? It's someone's little brother. The end is in sight. I am so close to finishing this book. I have like that much left. So I'm 100% finishing this book today. It will, I think by the time I finish this book, so just by the end of the day, it will have taken me over 2 weeks to read this book and to finish a book, period. So I don't know what was going on. I'm not even in a book slump. I love this so much, and I still project that it's going to be a 5-star. And like, we literally have 100 pages left, so it's like 100% going to be a 5-star, pretty much. Unless the ending is just really, really bad. But so much has happened in this book so far. I feel like there's a ton of like, or not even a ton of different plot lines, but just like so many events and crazy things that have been happening, and I have been crying. I have been swooning. I love Kai. He is one of the best book boyfriends of all time. And I just watched Enola Holmes, and now I just keep picturing Kai as a young Henry Cavill. So I'm gonna sit here, I'm going to finish this book today, and then we're just going to wrap up this video. You guys, we have finally made it to the end of this video. I feel like this lasted for forever and ever, but we have made it. I read a ton of stuff over the last few weeks, but at the same time, like, not a lot, if that makes sense. So first, let's talk about the books that I did not finish, but I did read some of in this vlog. First one being the Heroes of Olympus book number 3, The Mark of Athena. I got up to around 50 pages, so the last time I talked to you about this was the last time I picked this book up. I just haven't picked it up in a few days, and I am going to prioritize this now. This is my #1 read at the moment right now. I really love this series, and I would really highly recommend reading just the whole Percy Jackson world. It's so much fun. Then I talked about 100 Years of Solitude at the very beginning of this video, and let me be honest, I did not read a single page of this during this video, so I just wanted to talk about it because I know I had said something before that I was going to read like 10 pages a day. Yeah, no, I didn't read any of this book. Now, the books we did complete, so first of all, we read Attack on Titan volumes 7, 8, and 9. I loved this so much. I would definitely recommend picking this up if you have never read manga, or even if you had before. This is just such a fun series. It's very intense and exciting, and I really enjoyed it, and I gave it 4 stars. Then I read The Thorns Remain by J.J.A. Harwood, and I didn't so much like this one. I ended up giving it 2 stars. I'm going to stick with 2 stars just because I didn't like it. I don't recommend it to other people, I don't think. So yeah, it just was not for me, and I wish it would have been, but it was not. And then we have the final book that I read for this video, which is Fearless. I read this massive tome of a book, 600 pages, which honestly isn't that long for a fantasy, but I don't know, I feel like it's been a while since I read like a 600-page book, especially like physically. I read this entire thing physically, and normally with long books I like listen to them, but I enjoyed my time with this so much. I love Kai. He is one of my favorite characters ever. He's just such a sweetheart. I think this book ended perfectly. I thought it had the greatest ending. I kind of guessed a few things that happened just as we were going along. I was like, I bet this is going to happen, and then usually it happened in the way that I was guessing it would happen, but there were still some twists and turns that I didn't see coming, and I just really loved this book. It was so exciting. I never felt bored while reading it. It's like we kept just jumping from one thing to another without any like boring slow moments. And yeah, I just really like Lauren Roberts' writing. Lauren Asher is a different author. I really enjoy Lauren Roberts' writing, and I can't wait to see what she comes out with next. This was like her first ever series. I'm pretty sure her Powerless was like the first book she ever like published, and I am a huge fan. I love this, and I gave it 5 stars. Thank you guys so much for coming along on this journey of mood reading with me. I had a good time overall. I think I'm done mood reading. I am ready to have a set TBR and just, you know, have some structure in my life. I still enjoyed my time, and I hope you enjoyed your time watching this as well. Please let me know your thoughts on Fearless if you have read this so far. I just want to know what other people are thinking about it. But yeah, I loved it. Obviously, this was my favorite book that I read in this video, and this will have a place in my heart for a very long time, probably forever. I love this series. Thank you so much for watching. I will just see you in my next video. Goodbye.